Well, this is one hell of a way to end a Build a Nation season. I don't even know what to focus on. Things are that good at the moment. I should be talking about the fact that we've got a star new signing, that we're on the cusp of winning a quintuple, but we might be about to get overshadowed by one of the other teams in the nation achieving our dream. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 138 of Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. This Build a Nation story is taking its biggest turn yet, and it is nothing to do with us. If you remember back to FM21 and Bangor City, for those of you that have been here a long time, we went all the way to the Europa League semi-final, and then we got outshone by Raith Rovers, who stole the save by winning it. Well, here the same might be about to happen because we are top of the league. We are now dominating Northern Irish football. But it seems to have helped Linfield on Thursday nights. They are one draw away from a Europa Conference final. And if they get to that and if they win it, well, they've stolen this save for good. They've done what we wanted to do. It would be a remarkable finish to the season. And in between that, we're going to be playing them back to back. Once in the league in a meaningless game and once in the Irish Cup final. They've already stopped us in the League Cup final. We've got the Euros to look forward to with Northern Ireland as well. And we've got one hell of a tasty group there. I am really excited about this. I've not even mentioned the fact yet that our new signing played on his debut and was brilliant and will feature in the Cup final as well. There is a lot to get through here. If you're looking forward to it, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. I don't really know where to start, but I think there's only one place. Let's have a look at Linfield. 90 points in the league again, a solid effort. They're making some pretty interesting transfer decisions. They've bought in a couple of big ones in January. They're now looking at selling big ones as well. So if we have a look at what's happened in the last couple of months, Justin Ferrisage has just gone to the MLS for £500,000. They bought him in his mid-20s, played him for 6 years and then made a profit when he got to his 30s. It's pretty good business, you have to say. But the money they must be making at the moment is ridiculous. Because in the quarter-final of the Europa Conference, they got through Rapid Vienna. You saw the first leg. We then got the second leg where they drew 1-1. But look at what's just happened in Italy. Gavin Holmes, a player they signed last summer who didn't look great on paper, has developed massively and has just scored a ridiculous goal in an ultimate smash and grab. Or was it? Not really, to be fair. Linfield had a pretty good game there, so I'm not quite sure how they've managed to pull that off. But if Linfield can draw their home game, they will be in the Europa Conference final against either West Ham or Nice. Probably West Ham, we have to admit. I would be surprised if they beat West Ham, but just to have them in a European final, I mean, they'd be stealing the Build a Nation. They'd put big pressure on us for the future, for sure. A wonderful effort from Linfield. We'll talk in the end of season review about what that's done to the coefficient. But despite our exit, essentially, in the last 32 stage of the Champions League, Linfield have got our coefficient into the top 16 of the nation, and that is the difference when you've got one other side doing something remarkable. So Linfield, stars of the show. Let's talk about the rest of it though, because we have got transfer news. Dermot Lafferty is leaving the club. He was refusing to sign a new deal. He was out of contract at the end of the calendar year, so we preempted it. We got rid of him before he could discuss terms with other clubs. And to be fair, £500,000 for him when we bought in a replacement for free is a pretty epic effort. Jordan Howard is that man. Couldn't register him for the league for the last few games, but he's played in the cup and he had a brilliant impact. An assist on his debut and a man of the match performance. Still only 25 and he will play in the cup final as well. Got to keep him fresh where we can. So that is good business for me. A slight upgrade, £500,000. And to be fair, it's not even as if we're losing someone who's homegrown in the nation, because despite being Northern Irish, he doesn't qualify for any of the homegrown registers, does Lafferty. So that is a really good start for us. The schedule has also been pretty good. We drew our last game when we dropped a few, but we have been able to bring youngsters in from the start and off the bench. And again, we're looking towards the future. You were with me for St Mirren as we won the SPFL trophy. We then played against Larne in the Irish Cup semi-final and won 3-0. Much more comfortable, and all three of the stars scored. But there was still time late on for substitute Tommy Murphy to fly in with one of those ridiculous challenges. Another big cup game, another red card. Is it going to settle the Irish Cup final too? Miraval Austin, Misselidis and Scully with the goals there. Misselidis will probably be saying goodbye to after today. Against Glenarvan, a 7-0 victory. Well, let's run through the scorers quickly. We've got Smith, Misselidis, Stout, Beaton, Scully, all with 1 apiece. Damien Dunn with a brace. I think Gavin Reid got 4 or 5 assists in that game, something ridiculous. We won 4-2 at Larne with a Miraval Austin hat-trick. Mark Scully got 1 as well. And a red card for Gavin Reid for 2 yellow cards. An 8-0 win against Glentoran. The goals there were Miraval Austin, Paul Elliott, Owen Kidd, 2 for Misselidis, 2 for Griffiths, 1 for Cameron Goss. Colin McCann, our former player, sent off. And then a 1-1 draw at Coleraine. But as you can see, we rotated a little bit. Stuart Tomlinson from this year's youth intake made his debut off the bench. Harkin and Caulfield got half an hour each. Owen Kidd played from the start. We made sure we got a few into the team. And of course, as we go into today's game, we've got to go pretty much back to full strength. We need to get people match fit and up to speed for the final. In 10 days' time, Linfield might have other priorities, but we want to make sure it's a quintuple. Let's go and get through to the fixtures and find out how we get on. This one is the more relaxing of the two, but always a fun game, Linfield v Distillery. Over 9,000 in for a league game is incredible, and a few changes being recommended. Darren Murphy will come out for Neil Kane. That's one of the changes we made last game. Will we have games settled by red cards in this one? Well, let's go and find out with our first 11 in situ. Just Paul Elliott, who's in for the injured Cowan. He's coming back, probably on the bench for the final, as we can play Jordan Howard, the new man. We've got Neil Kane in goal for this one. Reid and Stowder fullbacks with Mackenzie and Smith as centre-half. Gash and Jude the midfield too. Misselidis playing off the left. He's out of contract at Brentford. We need him to leave the club, because otherwise his wage demands are too big. Paul Elliott's on the right. Miraval Austin number 10. And Mark Scully, 73 goals and counting. He is the man through the middle. Well, if you ever wanted evidence of priorities for Linfield, then you've got it right here. So many changes. They've brought in players in Ed Turns, who is transfer listed. Caden Casement, who's a youngster who's not very good. Our Northern Ireland star Mackie, who scored all 4 against Rapid Vienna, drops out. Gavin Holmes, who scored the winner at Atlanta, drops out. McGuckin, another one of our internationals, out. And then Brown and Williams, 2 big summer signings in defence last year, both drop out as well. They have rested almost all of their stars for this game. Rory Lennon, our former player, does come in alongside a number of youngsters and backups. But let's go and get into the first half. It's back-to-back matches. Let's show them what we're about. With our first team against their, well, rotated one. We should be pretty dominant here. I've got to say, as we're back for a highlight early on, probably the most exciting thing about us appearing in the Champions League this year and getting through the group and Linfield's brilliant run in a Conference League is that both should improve their reputation next year. And if that's the case, we'll hopefully see an increase to the league stature and also to the standard of players coming in. I'm really excited about what's going on at the minute, and mainly because of another club that's finally getting a success. We never had that when we were in Wales 2 years ago. And here, as Misselidis comes down the right, we've got a dominant start as we'd expect. But fair play to Linfield. They are rotating against us. They're prioritising the right thing. You've got to give them credit for it. Miraval Austin heads that one just wide. Another wasted chance for him. Not had the best finish to the season, but still a superstar at the club. We're counting the days down for that minimum fee release clause. It expires in 28 days. And once that goes past, we can extend his contract a year. And hopefully we'll have him tied down for the long term as Elliott gets it wide to Misselidis. With the Euros coming up, I'll show you the group after this game. It really is a good time for him to be in form, as it is for Miraval Austin, who after a poor performance last week scores the opener. A great cross from Misselidis. I mean, you can see this is Linfield's backup defence. They're not offering anything. As Allen gets the ball in the middle, wide to Murphy. I'm also keeping an eye on them because we don't want any of their star Northern Irish players getting injured, as Rory Lennon hits the post from a very acute angle. A really good effort, but we managed to hold on. He's still a good player, even at our new level. Great to see at the top of the screen as well, Paul Symington scoring for Glenarvan again. He's close to the Northern Ireland squad on loan from us. I'm almost tempted. I keep extending his loan because it boosts the nation, but really I want to gamble this year on bringing him back and then hopefully loaning him out to either a Linfield or a Larne, because if he plays for them in Europe, he will improve their sides. We've got 10 minutes to the break here. We hit the post with Elliott. And now we're playing out from the back with Macias to Casement. I'm going to have one more go before the Euros, attempting Cowan to play for Northern Ireland as well. But at the moment, we've got to be worried about an equaliser. Adair into the box. Reed does well. Gets it back to Neil Kane. Bit of force between the posts, but he keeps it out. And he plays it short to Stow, who brings it away. He's really improving towards the end of this year, as it's up to Misselidis and Merival Austin. Great run off the defender. Good first touch to Scully. And it's 2-0. It is his 30th league goal of the season. And it's a sensational breakaway. Never in any save on this channel have two signings made such an impact to a story. From not being able to win the Irish Premiership to the dominant force in this country. And those two have been superstars. They've been part of the European rise as well. And at half-time, it's 2-0. It's a great display. Let's hope it calms down. We've got a couple of youngsters on the bench we can bring on. Let's hope the opportunity arises. As 5 minutes into the second half, it's a Gavin Reed free kick. Big switch to Misselidis on the left. Crossing towards Scully is cleared by Bird. He finds Jude and now Miles Stow. Carries it into the opposition box. Gets to the byline as men in the middle. Misselidis is one. Wins the header. It's comfortably wide of the post. Linfield keep it at 2. We don't want to harm their confidence too much for Thursday. I think they know what they're doing with this one. At the hour mark, we're going to look at resting people as Reed puts the free kick in. Out to Merival Austin on the volley. Just wide of the post. It's a cracking effort. But I think it is now time for changes. We're going to take Luke Smith off at right centre half. Owen Kidd will get a run out. I'm also looking at the two centre midfielders who could both do with a rest. So Damien Dunn and Matthew Harkin, the youngster, will come on for him. We're then going to bring on Kyle Carr, who we need to keep fit ready for the Euros at left back. And Kashif Beaton will come on for Paul Elliott, who is much in the same boat. Could have been Merival Austin actually, because Elliott won't start the final. Let's do that instead actually. We'll rest Merival Austin. Beaton will go number 10. Paul Elliott will get the 90 today. He's cup tied. He's not going to be able to play against Linfield. And most importantly, with Howard coming back in and Cowan back to fitness, we won't need him either. So good to see a couple of youngsters coming on. I really hope we can keep Owen Kidd. We're 25 to go. This has been a good performance. I just hope we don't fall away at the end. As Linfield are playing down the left here, just over 15 minutes to go. Owen Kidd does well to head away. And here comes Paul Elliott working down the right. Great to have him back in form. The signings really worked out for us, but that little ambitious trying to take his man on. The old knock and run didn't quite work as Davis clears it away. McGuckin loses the header to Carr. Misselidis on the left. He can cut inside the car again. Chips forward to Beaton. It's really good play. Turns his man inside out. Outside of the finished foot into the corner. He's not had the best couple of months as Beaton, but he's training well. He's still improving. And he scores a third goal there. With Misselidis leaving in the summer, by all accounts, it looks like that's going to happen. Having him fit and firing is going to be really important next year. 5 minutes to go. A 3-0 win is wrapped up. Lance Marshall gets a hat-trick, but he can't catch Scully in the Golden Boot race. And Glenavon win thanks to our man Simonson. As Carr plays out from the back. In 3 minutes of stoppage time here. To Damien Dunn in the centre circle. Been quiet since he came on. Releases Beaton with a good ball here though. Tries to cut back for Misselidis. And a shot straight at Davis. Linfield have got 5 days to recover now. Atalanta is going to be their focus. Hopefully Windsor Park will be full for that. And even if they end up losing it, the finances, the coefficient, it's got to make an impact for them this summer. There is the final whistle. A pointless final minute, but a big 3-0 win. Let's get on to the cup final. And also have a quick look at the group we've got with Northern Ireland this summer. Well, we're back on the night of the big game to find out if Linfield can do it. Can they make history and get to a European final? We'll see if they can overshadow our whole season in a moment. I didn't also mention earlier in the episode, among all the good news, we've got loads of staff improvements in the last week or two. The board, after we won the last title, gave us a massive upgrade to the numbers we could have, and we are improving with some really good people coming in. We'll take a full look at those in the summer review. It's going to be a big progress report of our side because a few of you have derided me for saying Premier League quality in the comments, but we have got some players that are right on the cusp. I've got to quickly show you though, as I promised, the Northern Ireland setup this summer. Let us have a look at the group we've got. England, Scotland and Switzerland. I have got to show you my international team, now with 3 or 4 of my Distillery players and 3 or 4 of Linfield's in the tournament against 2 of the other UK sides. I've got to do it. The likelihood is that Neil Kane, Paul Elliott and probably Kyle Carr will all be on the bench for that game. So definitely something I've got to get you involved with. But for now, let's press continue and see if Linfield can make history. Well, I am almost speechless. They've only gone and done it. And a few of our international squad, including Keith Martin there, are going to be joining up a bit late for the tournament this summer, because our first friendly is just 5 or 6 days after the West Ham final. Of course they're going to get battered in that one. West Ham are a Premier League team. They're 9th in the league. They're doing really well. That's going to be a bridge too far, but my word, what an effort. And one of our Northern Ireland players scoring the winner in the tie. That is the stuff dreams are made of. Linfield have overshadowed us, but let's go and face them, because next week we're playing in the Irish Cup final. And I'd very much like to make it 5 trophies this year. Well, here is our final game of the season, and we return with good news ahead of it as well, because we got our prize money for winning a league this year. And it's made me go and have a look positively, because looking at the Irish Premiership, if you finish bottom and get relegated, you get 97,000. And us, for winning it this year, got 221k. Now, to put a bit of perspective into this, at the start of this save, if you won the Irish Premiership, you would get 50,000 in prize money. If you finish bottom of the league, you would get about 13,000, I think it was. And with the reputation going up further, and the fact that both of us have done well in Europe this year, that could be a very good sign. Add to that Larne have just started going big randomly in terms of their transfers. If we go and get this up, they've made an offer for a player they've had on loan from Arsenal. He's 3-star by our standard. And to be fair, for a third place team in the league, they're not giving up and they're trying to get players of one hell of a reputation. But today, the focus is on us v Linfield. Their focus is probably on a European final, but they've got enough time between it that they can go first team today. And for us, it's about all the Northern Irish players staying fit. It looks like Mackie is missing out, but most of the others are back in. So let's go and get our team picked for this. A sold-out Windsor Park is waiting. We'll be back in a moment to run through the team. Well, we've reached a pretty big stage in this save now, because a front four of Elliot, Griffiths, Parry and even Dermot Lafferty can no longer even make the bench, let alone the starting 11. What you are going to see today on the right-hand side is, well, your first chance on camera to see Jordan Howard. He will be our backup striker next year. Has been ineligible for the league games because we weren't able to register him, but did really well in the cup semi-final. He starts on the right with the returning Stephen Cowan on the bench. He's not quite ready to be selected yet. And with Paul Elliott behind them, we're in great shape. It might be a goodbye today to Missalidis and Smith, so hopefully they'll go out on a high regardless. But the rest of the team is exactly what we played last week. The only change is Jordan Howard. Let's go and get into the final against Linfield. Can we make it 5 trophies, or can they warm up for a remarkable European final by completing a domestic cup double? Well, here are the teams. Just a couple of changes from the Atalanta game for Linfield, but quite a few from the side that played against us. Mackie is on the bench after he had a little knock, but you can see loads of the other younger players not even there, and the likes of, well, McGuckin, Holmes, Martin, all coming back in, with Zach Williams and Brown into defence as well. So let's get through the dressing room. Let's tell the lads to pick up where they left off. We all know what happened in the League Cup final, and let's be fair, there is every chance there will be a stupid red card today. Linfield not in the best of form, but I think you can forgive them for what they've done in Europe. Let's go and see if we can avoid the red mist and maybe get our hands on another trophy. Well, I think it might be another one of those cup finals, the really boring ones we used to have in FM22. A quarter of the game without a highlight as Maraval Austin loses it on halfway. Bird chips it over the top to Kellyman. Smith wins it for Jude, and now we try to play out with Stow. Under pressure from his former teammate Lennon, but Gash gets it away. Here is Duncan McKenzie out to Stow. Down the left he goes. He's got space to run into. Finds Missalidis with both big strikers getting in the box. Missalidis down the wing. Cuts it back for Stow. Maraval Austin's in there, as is Jordan Howard. What a time to score your first goal for the club. Jordan Howard rifles it into the roof of the net. And we talked about the quality of player we're bringing in. We've sold Lafferty for $500,000, and boy have we got an upgrade. An assist and a man of the match showing in a semi-final, and possibly the winning goal in the final. I think we're going to be in a good position next year. Let's see if we can hold on to this now. As we got 4 minutes to the break with a cross from Reed, header just over from Missalidis. Oh, it would have been nice for him to sign off with a goal, wouldn't it? I mean, hopefully he gets released and he reduces his demands, but at the minute, he wants 12 or 13 grand a week, and we've got no one on over 4. Let's go and tell the lads to keep it up. It is 1-0 at half-time. A dominant display without the goals. We've got another set piece now with Reed, and Mackenzie hits the power as well. Oh, we are thrashing the woodwork here. A wonderful start to the occasion. But let's be fair, while it's only 1-0, Linfield have got a chance. We learnt that the hard way in a League Cup final. With 25 to go, we're going to make our first changes. It is going to be Kashif Beaton on for Missilidis on the left. I'm looking in midfield at Jude as well. Damien Dunn is going to get a run out for him. They are better the opposite way round. 2 changes made. We'll give it another 10. But at the moment, it's all Lisburn Distillery. Well, I've just seen that Linfield have bought on one of our Northern Ireland stars, so I better react. We're going to bring on Tommy Murphy, who likes a red card, but Gavin Reed will get his rest now. Mark Scully's had a really poor game, so I'm actually going to put Howard up front, and I'm going to go for Stephen Cowan off the right. And then the other subs, we've got a couple of defenders or Daly. I think we'll give it till late on. We'll make a time-wasting one if need be, because at 1-0, this game is not over. We're going to praise the lads for their performance because it's been very good, but it looks like our new start might have scored the winner. Let's hope we can cling on, because it would be one hell of a story to finish the year. As Damien Dunn gets it on the right, and Bette the January signing fighting for Linfield, but Dunn gets there, crosses in, Davis deals with it well. And that big kick over the top is going to alarm us, because they've got Mackie up there. They've got plenty of other quality too. And Mackenzie does really well, finds Damien Dunn, up to Beaton the sub. Support from the left back, but instead just holds the ball up, eventually does find Stow. He cuts inside the Gash. Support inside of him again, but takes too long. Rory Lennon wins it back. Gash fighting hard, but he can't get there. It's a big switch of play to Mackie. Linfield have got a 3-on-3. Mackie to Lennon. Stow wins it. No, you've not given a penalty for that. Even the commentary says dubious decision. That is a joke. Referee still playing up for the reputation of the biggest club in Northern Ireland. McKinney puts the penalty away, and that is an absolute joke. Stow is going to be replaced as a result of that because his morale's taken a hit. Kyle Cart will be the man to come on. We're going to encourage. We're going to stoppage time. Oh, they're not going to do us again, are they? Linfield getting a lucky decision. We didn't put the game to bed, and now we've got extra time. It is a frustrating one. We'll give it 5 minutes, and then we'll make the sub. I think it's going to be Gash off for Daly, as Cowan's got it on the right to Gash. He gets it forward to Mackenzie and Kyle Carr. Beaton supporting him. 2 in the middle. Can he get the cross in? He's cut back, turns, nicks it. He manages to hoof it away. Mackenzie finds Carr again though. The pressure, well, it just doesn't relent, does it? It's an onslaught. Mackie gets back to win it. He's on the edge of his own box. And Bette hoofs clear, but Smith wins it. Oh, he's given a red card now. Oh my word. I don't know what to say. I mean, you know what I'm going to say, but I'm not going to say it. Cameron Goss, thankfully, we do get an extra sub in extra time. He's going to replace, it's going to have to be Jordan Howard now. I'm going to go Merivale Austin through the middle for the physical presence. And then Goss will go centre-half with Mackenzie, the old school reunion. I'm going to drop to balance. We're going to leave the rest the same. But as we go into extra time, it's all falling apart. Another final against Linfield. Another bit of luck for them. I tell you what, I hope on a serious note they get this lucky against West Ham, because they're just destined to win it if they do. How we've not won this game is beyond me. And some of the decisions, the red card ridiculous, the penalty was a disgrace. And now Stephen Cowan, we need some magic, but how fit are you? Gash isn't fit, Merivale Austin isn't fit. Taking Scully off was probably an error of judgment, as Carr brings it down the line to Beaton. Big ball across to Damien Dunn. Oh, what an effort off the bar. Underside and somehow stays out. And now Cowan's got it on the right. Gash brings it to Dunn again. Oh, he's given the ball away this time. Almost a moment of stupendous quality. As Kyle Carr nicks it off his international teammate. Don't get injured, boys. Goss gets it into Dunn. Space to run into. Both sides chasing the game, even though we've got 10. He's got support from Murphy. Not seen much of him. That's got to be a foul. He delivers a great cross, though. And Kashif Beaton into the top corner. Not his best season in the world. But what a finish that is. Brilliant effort. Into the far corner. Postage stamp stuff. And we are now 2-1 up. A lovely goal. A lovely cross from Tommy Murphy. And the substitutes combine to produce the heroics. 1 minute added on. I've celebrated too soon. It's a throw-in for Linfield. Cowan gets it away. The time wasting is now on. But is it going to be enough? Because Williams is coming down the left. It's a big cross in. Mackie wins it. It's off the bar to McKinney. Oh, he was going to tap in, but the offside flag is up. And mercifully, we are going to hold on for the Irish Cup final. Back-to-back trophies in this one. 5 trophies for the season. But let's be honest, for Linfield, it is all about a first ever European final for a Northern Irish side. Good luck to them in a couple of weeks. We'll keep an eye on that in our end of season review. But for now, we are lifting a trophy for the 5th time this year. I'm really starting to get used to this feeling. We've got a big match winner in Jordan Howard joining. Kashif beating the youngster shows the future is bright. And Neil Kane will lift the Irish Cup high above his head. It is 5 trophies for the year, but Linfield may still overshadow our success. Well, we made hard work of it, but we got the job done in the end. And again, there's loads of money flowing in. The Intermediate Cup final, which the reserves played in, they won that one and did really well. And then again, look at the senior team. The Irish Cup final going really well, but good to see that money filtering down throughout the competitions. We have made an incredible quintuple, 5 trophies won. But Linfield have won the League Cup to stop us with the clean sweep domestically. And of course, they have got a Europa Conference final, which far outstrips anything we've done in this save. There is the confirmation of how our season finished. Loads of trophies in the bank. The next episode, we are going to have a big end of season review. It will incorporate the Europa Conference final. We'll see how Linfield get on. We'll have a coefficient update, but crucially, we'll do a progress report of the club because some of our players have improved so much that they are now Premier League level. And I just wanted to give you a quick update of how well some of these are coming along. Something we don't really get to do in the regular episodes. We'll also have a look at our big staffing upgrades and plan what we're going to do in the summer. If you're looking forward to the end of season review, a big Euros with Northern Ireland and loads of UK rivalries, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments what you think of Linfield's tale. Am I right? Does it outstrip what we've achieved? It certainly does on the coefficients. And what do you think of our best season so far, which might yet still be overshadowed? If you want to stay up to date and find out if it is, then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back here in a couple of days' time. And in the meantime, the head coach is back tomorrow. We had the return of top 3s on Sunday, which you can find up in the eye above. Make sure you check that out if you haven't before. And of course, the football season's nearing. The podcast channel update is out there too. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time as Linfield look to smash the history book.